Welcome back to BTB Podcast with your host, Baron, and the entourage that I suppose are called friends. First up, Thrawns.
Hey.
Second off, Cammy.
Roger.
And last but not least, Xander.
Hello, I'm British.
Yes. So, this podcast, we're talking about the High Republic announcement, the Age of Rebellion update for Battlefront 2, Clone Wars Season 7, and the Sonic movie. So, starting us off, the High Republic.
It's cool. I think it's cool. And usually I'm not like...
The EU
I'm not...
is back.
Yeah, I'm not one to like, praise like whatever's currently going on, but like I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Could be cool. It's like it's just announcements and stuff, so like it sounds cool. But that doesn't mean it's like, But for now, I think I'll say I'm interested. At least.
Yeah, I don't know what quality the actual stories will be, but it looks high, the different the fact that the Jedi look like Jedi,
Golden Age, literally wearing like white and gold.
Bro, just like George Lucas envisioned.
They have.
Oh man,
belts that
imagine
look
if the
like
bad
actual
guys wore blue and
swords.
black. Then we wouldn't know who's who.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. I think the authors are all of like the decent level repute. Like Claudia Gray, Kevin Scott, Charles Soule. He's doing comics.
So...
But like, yeah, they're all.
Soule, they're daredevils.
I mean, the thing is that like, regardless of how you feel about him in like Marvel or something like, within like SW Comics, like he's like considered really good. Well, up there at least. So, yeah.
I really enjoyed the second Vader comic. It was especially the bit where he like takes on Jocasta Nu inside the Jedi archives.
Yeah.
Do you like the lightsaber gun?
The lightsaber gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like that
She,
cowboy
like,
guy.
plugs like lightsabers into it, and she uses it like, as ammo.
Oh yeah, I thought for some reason I thought you meant Ezra.
Oh, you mean
Oh,
okay, yeah, the rifle thing. I mean, I thought it was like whatever.
Right.
It's a really weird.
I mean, with it
contraption.
being like 500 years old, I wonder what it's going to be like to see like young adult Yoda. Or just like teenage Yoda.
Boomer, okay.
Oh yeah, he's still alive. Of course, he's still alive. So it's like, yeah, he's gonna be younger. He's probably gonna be like what, middle aged? Let me think. So if he's like 900 or something.
Because he's like, what, 800 in the prequels or so? So yeah, he's going to be...
We don't
A bit
actually.
earlier
He's gonna be
on.
going through a
Yoda
midlife
is.
crisis.
Because in the OT, he says he's been training Jedi for that long, but that's not like as old as he is.
Oh yeah, God, middle-aged Yoda like paying off his land speeder on Tatooine.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life, with his remaining life, and he's like, "Oh, I only have
He's
200 years."
contemplating
It's like
his path and heir to the Jedi.
You know, we see him, he's like abducting kids, and the Jedi come like, hey, you should do that, but religiously.
Join us.
No,
It's like,
turns
oh my
out
God,
I have.
better call Yoda.
Yeah. It's got a mullet.
Oh no.
And a leather jacket.
Yeah. And so you're seeing like all the Jedi when they're going through their like night phase, they're all got the mullets going on. So that's what Yoda's got when he's like a Jedi Knight.
It's what inspired Anakin to grow up his. And I guess Obi-Wan too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it only makes sense for him to be around. You can't really avoid that, I guess, if you're gonna go 200 years before the Phantom Menace. But,
Yeah.
That means we're
I
gonna
don't
see more of Yaddle.
Wait. Would we or?
I mean, I'd imagine so, or they might just ignore her and then just like, oh
I
yeah,
feel like they
well,
would bring
she
her up.
exists.
Make her
I
origin
feel like
story.
actually,
canon
I don't know.
again,
Maybe they
Cal
would
was coming.
ignore, because they do seem to have like a lot of characters that are just like already
To be
lined
honest,
up.
as much as I like the child, I don't really care much for Yaddle, just 'cause it's like the two members of this species really going to be on the same council at the same time.
Hmm.
Strange.
Or if they're even gonna like go into the history at all, because that still seems like something they kind of like skimp around and say like, oh yeah, it's same species, they live a long time.
Yeah.
They don't.
Oh no, apparently she
yeah.
was born 500 before Battle of Yavin. So. Yeah. Maybe she'll be Yoda's mistake.
Jesus
Whoa.
Christ. No.
Falling
Yeah,
in love with you.
Did anyone see the Biff with the purple lightsaber? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's that. Wasn't there a Wookiee Jedi too?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Buri Yaga, I think.
Wait, they already named
Yeah,
him?
Yeah, he already has a name, and
Yeah.
it's like his last name is the first name flip.
Huh. Strange.
Man, that's pretty epic.
But no, I'm looking forward to it, especially the comics, just because I'm kind of not the current era of like, I don't know, the era around the Skywalker saga is a bit, it's a bit occupied right now.
Saturated.
Yeah.
One might say
Especially-
oversaturated.
Especially between 3 and 4, like we get it,
Hey, how many things can we have Vader do?
He kills
How
those
many
guys, he
Jedi
kills those
surviving
guys, and he
the
kills those guys.
purge can we have?
In this one,
Yeah.
he leases a Ford Focus, but then he kills the guy who leases it. It's a very deep story. That's
And then like the bad guys are gonna be called like the Nile? The Nil?
I think pronounced Nile, yeah.
Yuzon
I
Vance,
know,
you
like,
say?
And I just don't really care for dark side villains at the moment. Like I know that's the Jedi's. Although it isn't really, because if this is in the era of peace, surely they'd just be handling the bigger threats of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Like, they're not.
Yeah.
Like they're not Yuzan Vong, but they certainly sound like them.
The Nile,
They
the
should
Nil.
do-
I mean, like, they just seem like a bunch of dudes, bunch of pirates.
Yeah.
They should
That's
do
like-
what they did, like with the
Guess who's at the
comics
helm?
for, like before the Phantom Menace and Legends, and just have like short stories where Jedi do different like mundane tasks, like mundane to them, I suppose, but like peacekeeping kind of stuff.
Mundane adventures.
Well,
That's
it's
what we
mundane
want.
to them because that's all they
Going
do.
to settle a trade dispute.
No, I mean,
That's like a
like, no,
3
I know what he
episodes.
means, because it's like the whole, there was like Jude Watson's Master and Apprentice books. What was it called? What was it called? Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan? I don't know.
Yeah,
It was, but it was just like mundane shit. Not mundane, but it was just like relatively small scale, which is not the same as mundane, because it's like, they're still like, oh, it's a threat. Oh, your life's in danger. But it's just like, another day on the
Yeah,
job.
compared to the other movies,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's
Where
like
it's
the
like
best way
some
to tackle
dark
it.
evil mastermind
It's, like,
controlling
threatening
everything. It's
the
like, no.
threatening like the universe or some shit like that. Where this
Nobody makes their own actions.
Us
'cause this
pirates
guy's
are
pulling the
about to
strings.
control the universe. No Sith needed.
Some alien comes in from another galaxy wanting to wipe out half of all life. And that's where the crossover comes in.
They fly in a tree ship.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I guess like for me, I really would like to see like a new aesthetic for like it being 500 years old, because it kind of seems like
It's 200 years old.
technological like stagnation. Yeah.
It's 200.
Oh, is it 200? Okay.
200.
I think there's that. They mentioned hyperspace lanes not being like properly developed yet or something, so it'd be like harder to get around.
They have to
Mm.
follow the Purgles. Purgles?
I think that'd be cool. We could get like a road,
Yeah.
a road trip movie in Star Wars where they're just making their way across the galaxy.
It's like the like how turtles they travel in like jet streams or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Exclusively.
Finding Nemo thing, yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Oh my god, yeah. It's just that, but with the Bendu from Rebels.
Yeah.
Actually, they should bring back Bendu for this.
They could. Doesn't mean they would. But they could.
Is that a Filoni thing, or would he not mind? Or...
He might not
Filoni's
mind
a
if
team
it's like
player.
that far in the past. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like, it's not like It's like I don't exactly know how their office politics are. Is it like, I don't know. Like maybe Filoni's like, I don't want you to do this, but they're like, fuck you, I can do it anyways. It's not your
Yeah.
character.
It's
Lucasfilm
our
property.
character.
Yeah, it's
Rated-
company's character.
Saving it for Rebels 2.
Yeah.
They find Ezra and he's just like eating like what remains of Thrawn. He has like a beard.
Mm.
Yeah, like a potential Rebels sequel. That'd be going in the other direction. That'd be going to flesh out the sequels more.
Rebels, don't you mean Space Aladdin? Give up votes.
Yes,
That's our
I agree.
Saltern and great bitch.
Alright, so moving on. Age of Rebellion update came last week.
I used to be
And,
agent as mommy as fuck.
Yeah.
I wanted to kick
I haven't
me
gotten
and
to play
Cape on
around too
skull.
much with it, but yeah. It's
I've
pretty
been-
neat.
Oh, I've been obsessed with it. Yeah, it feels like even though it's the same mode that's been in the game for a while, it feels like a new game. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the big thing for me with co-op is being able to play, play heroes and villains without having to worry about like the sweat
Oh,
with
yeah.
like people on. Yeah,
Yeah, because except for the sequels, you can pretty much play as a hero at any point because there's enough for everyone, I think.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been kind of big on, but unfortunately, I know that co-op Starfighter, so it's not really gonna come. So
Oh, yeah.
so like the dream of having
A
cards up all the
squadron.
way and all the achievements. Yeah.
It's long gone. But
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing that a lot of people have taken from it is that they actually get to level up heroes that they couldn't before because heroes versus villains just doesn't give that much. Well,
I
it's
think
just an
heroes versus
annoying game mode,
villains
really.
gives more XP.
Yeah,
than
it
co-op.
is.
I don't know for sure, but I feel like it does.
Because you have like all these characters with stun effects all put together on a small map, and it's like, oh yeah, have fun.
Oh, here's another force push.
This was brought to
Yeah.
you by Republic Cruiser.
One mind trick, not enough. How about a second mind trick? Enjoy doing anything.
Anakin and Luke were like force push dyad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And
I don't know. Yeah, it's because I mean I've mained Lando ever since I started playing him in Heroes vs Villains, and I've just been itching to actually play as him now that I've got the legendary skins for him. So
Which
it's
one?
the Raconteur where he has the white cape and stuff.
Is that a childish Gambino skin?
Yeah, it doesn't sound anything like him, but yeah.
yeah, I prefer the original one because actually having Billy D. Williams' voice is
Yeah, that's the trade-off. It's annoying because like I'm always quoting his voice lines like in game as well.
Wait, that's actually Billy D?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
He
didn't know
provided
that.
his likeness and his voice and stuff, so it's
I used the Skiff Guard skin because I just like the way it looks.
yeah. I still need to get that.
yeah. I'm fine with the default, but I did get a Bosch just because it's. I know this is really funny. The interactions where like Luke will talk to Leia, and then Leia just like yep.
Oh,
Like,
because
oh.
Who are they coming after? You or me?
Damn.
Yep.
Because like I got the Han Endor skin. It's like, oh man, I should because I need all the Return of the Jedi skins to like power me.
Yeah.
Default Luke is best Luke. You can't fight me on that.
I don't know, man. You got Yavin Celebration right there, and it's not even his Return of the Jedi outfit. It's a weird like alternate version or something.
Yeah, but it's still.
Yeah, it's like post Return of the Jedi because he's like, oh, now he's wearing 2 gloves.
This is
I
where it
have
gets-
bought
shit gets
another
real.
glove to complete my set.
And new weapons were certainly welcomed, I think.
Yeah,
And-
and there were seemed to be quite a few complaints about like, oh yeah, this is weak. This is really bad weapons, guys. It's like I don't know.
Didn't realize that basically it's just the same guns from the first game. Although the heavy gun, the T21, is godly. Like I don't think I'll ever switch back from it because it's
I really hate that that they have like a trade off with it, like midway with the upgrades, where it like gives you like more control over like the spread, but then it reduces the damage. I want my fucking
Yeah.
long range damage dealer. Fuck you.
But I think with the fact that T21's got a scope as well means that you can basically play specialist. I think.
Yeah,
So you want
Imagine just, like,
that's
running
balance.
across the map,
That's how
Get
balance
sniped by a
works.
fucking bomb.
Yeah.
God, I hate how this gun isn't overpowered.
Yeah. I mean, this game is just full of overpowered shit. So at this point, I don't care if it is. Just give it to me.
I don't know.
And I had kind of an epiphany the other day was to actually like turn off the in-game music and just put on a Spotify playlist because I suddenly like the gameplay didn't then feel as repetitive. I can just play for hours. You know?
What do you mean you
Ah,
don't
see, I
like
did the
hearing TIE
opposite
Fighter attack
because-
for the 100th time?
Some people are like heathen. You can't not play the John Williams orchestra, but I don't.
Yeah, because I mean, for the longest time, I had music off just because like the repetitiveness of like the beginning and end music. But turning it back on, like you really do
Oh, yeah.
appreciate when you're running around and you have the Star Wars music playing.
Yeah, I
but-
mean, imagine after you've not listened to it, it probably sounds like an added feature, I guess.
The only
But
track
yeah.
I
every
really
time I
don't
spawned in
like.
as Lando, it'd play the Bespin thing. Dun, 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 dun.
The only track I don't like is the I think it's called Jango Fett Escapes, and it plays like every 10 seconds. Legit.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like the most generic song, and I hate it. Please, Jango Fett Escape.
Yeah, I think that's the one that plays after the "Hello There" voice cue. Is like da-na.
I think that's Obi-Wan versus Vader.
Yeah.
And then, as a final fuck you to the Ewok haters, they added an Ewok as a rebellion unit. Who
I
is
think
an
the
absolute
Ewoks are
unit.
kind of stinky. Like, I don't think they're very strong.
You don't think they're very
I mean-
firm?
Strong.
Strong.
Huh. I guess, but I mean, they make up for it with the auto aim, I guess, which is
Yeah, but like one of
I
the
mean, they
challenges
talked
is
about
to,
how
like,
it's a
get
one-hit
manual
kill.
kills, and it's like nigh impossible.
yeah. Although aiming with the right click is kind of not very good.
Yeah.
It's satisfying when you actually get a kill with it because it's like, oh, archery and stuff.
It's satisfying for me because I can't get kills on my own.
Simple geometry.
Console players.
Simple geometry, he up style.
Actually, does console have like any kind of auto aim as is, or is it just free shooting?
Wait, yeah. It has auto aim on a console.
Huh. Know about that being a PC Master Race play.
Wait, does it turn on auto aim if you plug in the controller to PC?
It
Um,
might.
I don't know. I when I connected my Switch Pro controller, it recognized it, but all the controls were like completely messed up. So, like right trigger was like jump, and it didn't work.
Wait, why would you plug in a Switch controller?
Because Steam has a setting which basically recognizes all of its inputs and stuff, and even lights up the little LED. Origin is not as good.
Wait, that's right, because you can enable Battlefront 2 for Steam.
Yeah, like for
The-
me, it's the best controller I've used just for the functionality it has, I guess.
Sad. You'll never be a Switch
But-
Pro now.
You can't really replace a keyboard in a shooter, I guess. So.
Yeah, you can.
You can, but limited result.
I also
Unless
because I was
the-
playing with Baron when the co-op update dropped, I realized that like the little button in the middle of the PS4 controller,
Yeah.
it acts as like a mouse if you press it on PC.
Ah.
It's
That's
the
cool.
most useless thing, but I found
Oh
out.
yeah, because I've got it set up that if I hold down the switch home button, I can move the cursor.
All right. So next up, Clone Wars Season 7. First 2 episodes are
Bad Batch?
I
Bad Batch.
thought you were just gonna say bad, and it's like, wait, that's Cammy's opinion.
Bad Batch is bad.
Nah.
I mean,
Well,
they're
I'm on season
alright.
2, so.
They're okay.
They're alright. Just tasteless and lukewarm, but they're alright.
It's just that, I mean, there's been worse in Clone Wars, because it's Clone Wars. So it's like... Yeah, I think
It's
their
interesting to
personalities
see
are
the-
alright. They're
Yeah.
like, they're kind of like
They did change
stereotypical.
up some of the dialogue, yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
Some of the dialogue things I noticed got changed. And it's like interesting to see like how some of the things they just like
I really don't remember.
oh, that tagline where I think it was when it's like Crosshair says in the original one, like, oh yeah, if I got abandoned, I wouldn't feel too loyal. And then like they replaced it with, oh, well, he's just a reg, so he doesn't matter.
Yeah,
So it's interesting to see how they kind of like
I like how
change some
Rex
stuff
just made
around.
Cross-
Crosshair
into
more
Anakin.
space racist. What'd you say, Kim?
I said I like how Rex is turning into Anakin.
I mean, like,
yeah, I guess they tried to
kinda.
run that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, that was like an intentional parallel. Yeah, I get that. That was mentioned in the second episode. But then, like, I think like they're all a little bit, stereotypical, but it's not too bad. I guess like Hunter and like the what was the tech guy called?
Tech.
Tech.
God damn it, motherfucker! But then yeah, they're the chill ones, and then you have Wrecker and Crosshair who are just like. Well, Wrecker is annoying at times. Wrecker was annoying in the first episode, but he was not as bad in the second one for some reason. I think he just
Didn't
like
say Wrecker's not chill, dude. When he was putting down the gonk droid, he put him down nice and soft. What a nice man.
he talked
Yes,
talked
he's such a
less.
nice guy.
He talked less in the second episode. In the first one, he was like super chatty, and I was like, really?
Bunga, me strong.
Yeah, me strong. Yeah, and it's like, yeah,
You-
I like this so
you
much.
reg.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, it's just like he's just like the dumb brute. Also, he's scared of heights, which is fucking like okay. I feel like I've
Officially
seen
more
this somewhere
human,
before.
Zeb.
The big guy who is big guy strong, scared of heights. But then like
Yeah.
Crosshair is just an asshole. Like everything that comes out of his
Just
mouth
another
is like. There's nothing really it's either neutral or offensive. Like there's nothing like happy in there. It's like, of course, like the sniper guy is the antisocial one, but I
He's
thought
the
he'd be
sniper
like
from
quiet.
TF2.
I thought he'd be like quiet, not like a dick. But it's just like, okay, I guess that works, kinda.
Have you guys noticed like the lack of polish with these 2 episodes so far?
The
I mean,
quality.
yeah, they look nice and they look like
I mean,
really
the
updated.
quality of the first one I think looked great, but like I think some of the fighting in the second seemed a bit like I don't know. It didn't look too polished.
Yeah, the animation looks really stiff, and there's like a lot of things like missing textures and like missing sound effects. Like
Yeah.
it's like
I mean, I think that just might be from like stuff that's missing since they're taking like older things and trying to polish them up. So maybe it's ones
Polish
like
them
that.
up without Daddy George Lucas's willingness to just burn money over everything. Just be like, just throw it into the wind.
I don't think that they really literally just like built on top of like the unreleased episodes. I think they did it like from the ground up again.
I
But
don't know.
doesn't it really
Well, yeah, I
excuse the
mean, I
fact
don't-
that there's,
I
like,
don't- I'd like to
literal
know how they
missing
do that.
textures?
Because like it seems a bit weird that they would like redo stuff that like there's so much already done for it. So I don't know how much of the old stuff they use or how many things they create. So I think that'd be like interesting to hear from.
So I mean, like I don't really know. I can't really tell because I haven't seen the original stuff in like a while. So it's like
Mm.
I don't remember.
Some guy was complaining that they don't have like the gunship that had like the lewd Padme on it.
Well, no, it's still there. Like the thing on there is still there. They just cut the scene for the actual talk with Padme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good change overall.
No, I want my lewd Padme back. Come back.
I mean, that's the
No, look, you
that was
zoom
the
in, you can
only
see
scene
the
I
X there.
remember. That was the only scene I remember from the cut from like the when they released the unfinished version. That scene and like the
Because it's
scene
fucking
where
creepy for the clones to have a picture of Anakin's girlfriend on their ship. Yeah.
the
Oh,
other
yeah.
scene I remember was at the very it was like the last episode of the arc where he like shanks Trench or something.
Yeah. By the way, spoilers to anyone who hadn't already seen the unfinished Clone Wars.
Yeah, I mean,
Honestly, I'm spoiler immune and everyone else should be too, because it's not about the end. It's only about the journey.
yeah. So, I mean, I'm on season 2, but I know most of the stuff happens in this show.
It's just
Mhm.
like,
Very slow going.
you know what? Maybe we can transition to this topic. The stupidity of spoiler culture. I really don't like it. I think it's really overblown, and I think like people just need to get over themselves about the endings of things. I think people need to distance themselves from immersion and be big brain like me.
I mean, here's
Because
the thing. I don't even.
yeah,
Because I ran into an example of this the other day. It wasn't really about like a story's ending, but it was about a video game. And with Animal Crossing coming out, I was on the Discord where people were like, a lot of people were saying stuff like they don't want to see any of the footage because they want to be surprised when they get into the game. And I was like, but you're still going to be surprised watching the footage. You know, it's this, everyone's going to see it at one point. You know, I don't know.
I just don't think it's that important.
No, I've seen. You know, I remember watching things for video games, or I guess even like trailers for movies, and still loving the content.
It's just more that I don't get that much out of surprises. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
a
mean,
twist.
Like
You
I
don't,
don't
you
feel
don't
it.
have
I'm
to
not
get
feeling
it,
it.
but I still think you should respect people who want like their exposure to it.
Oh yeah,
like
I'm not
a
gonna be
certain
like a
way.
dick and show in their faces. But I remember seeing like having Han Solo's death and Luke's death and all these other deaths spoiled for me, and still really enjoying those.
Yeah, I mean, like,
moments.
I'm not gonna be a dick and like, tell them to their faces. I'm just gonna judge them behind their back, as I usually do. That's how I roll, man.
I saw zero spoilers for the Rise of Skywalker, and that turned out to be interesting.
I
So,
mean, I just have never felt that appeal. And I know I'm like the minority here because a lot of people seem to care about spoilers. I just think I'm the correct minority. Yeah, that's right.
I do in
Putting
some
my foot
cases,
down.
but other times it
Silence
seems
minority.
to be. Other times it seems to be not the focus, like in a video game. Like unless if it's not about the story, then is it really a spoiler? Because you're gonna see it like 2 minutes into the game anyway.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, like, I had a match of Battlefront 2 where someone in chat spoiled Fallen Order, and I had even started playing it, so
Oh,
I don't know. It kind of felt a bit like detract from the
You didn't even need to
story
play
of
this
it,
game to
but
get
Oh,
spoiled.
yeah, if it's
Just the
story,
commercials
then
themselves
nothing
spoil the
grand.
game.
yeah. But I don't know. Like, especially like, at least for me, I think a lot of it came from like Rise of Skywalker stuff. There was like so many like, you know how Google suggests like articles for you to read
Yeah,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and like videos to watch. So just getting so many recommendations for like episode 9 spoiler things about like saying about, oh, plot leaks, this is what happens, and they just straight up like say the details in the title. It's like, oh yeah, thanks for telling me what it was, despite the fact I didn't even click on it.
Yeah.
did you know that Rey is actually a Star Wars?
I did not know. Subscribe to YouTube channel.
Oh. I'm just gonna consume video and then
Oh yeah, also yeah, most like lore YouTubers are garbage because they just read off wikis. Yes, this is another
They just
rant.
read the comic book and tell you this is what it means
This
when
is
he
what it
says, "I have a bad
happens.
feeling."
Yeah, they say this
Really?
is what it means, but they don't go deep. They just literally summarize the whole story, and it's like that's what it means. What I
Hello,
just said.
Rey was a
gamers. So a new
female Jedi living in this era, apparently.
And it's like, and it's just like, I have eyes, so I can read, so I don't need those.
Well,
it's audiobooks on YouTube.
It's for
Oh,
like
yeah.
people who have really bad memory and like are just and like are just like total suckers for like clickbait. That's what it feels
To be,
like.
to be fair, I mean, I've seen that with like just general comic books where you get channels that literally just explain comic book stories, and I'm like, you could use this time to read those comic book stories.
I guess there's a niche for the people who don't want to read them. That's the thing. I guess.
Yeah,
can
like
see
they
it.
wanna
Imagine
find
not
out-
supporting the
They want to find out
comics.
where MCU movies come from, but at the same time, I'm like, if you're just interested in the MCU movies, just watch the movies. That's
Okay,
fine.
no, but like also the thing is that like they don't want to pay for it. But you see,
Oh,
what
yeah, I
I've
guess.
done is I've
You
mastered
want
the art
consume,
of
pay.
going to read comic online, and then just go using that for everything.
Yeah,
That solves all
yeah,
my problems.
yeah,
So,
I do
yeah.
That with, I do that with comics that aren't Silver Surfer, but yeah.
Yeah.
Give my
Fucking
money to
pirate!
the,
I'm calling
people
the
who need it.
Marvel police on you.
I'm calling the police.
Like literally, it's not even worth it because it's like it costs more time and money and effort to like pursue people than to like the solution, of course, is to try to get those servers to shut down. Is the thing is to target like
Mm.
the actual pirators, not like
Well, see, I get when the videos exist because actually it's kind of a because a lot of people will be satisfied just watching pictures of panels from certain pages depicting important things flash on. It's not like a movie where you can just watch a clip and be like, yeah, I don't want to watch the rest of that. But I don't know. Nowadays, it's like if you look at sites like Comixology, it's actually incredibly easy to get into comics. Or at least it's not too expensive to get into comics. Continuity is a whole other thing.
okay, but listen, free versus not free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
yeah.
But
I bet you didn't think about that.
in fact, I mean, Marvel Unlimited is not too great of a purchase just because their interface is really shitty on like desktop. So it's only really worth
Mm.
getting if you plan to read on mobile, which I do, but not all the time.
It's not just that, but it's also they take forever to like put down certain comics because they
Oh,
do it based on like a relevancy. Like for the longest, they only had like a couple issues of Captain Marvel, but then when the movie came out, that's when they started pushing
Oh, yeah.
the rest of the issues.
It's
It's the
annoying,
dumbest thing. So I would say Comic Xology is probably like the best like official comic app. And everybody should use that and stop pirating so we can support the business so that we can consume in the future.
Well, I think, yeah, I don't mind. Well, see, now that I've bought Marvel Unlimited, I don't mind using Read Comic Online for other stuff because at least I'm still giving them money. Works win-win, you know.
I see this as an absolute win.
Yeah.
You stand
It's like-
here
Yeah, I
amongst
mean, I've
my
seen-
achievement, not yours.
I mean, I've seen people that are still like hardline against like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just pirate stuff on Disney Plus because I don't like the mouse. When it's just like, there's only so much you can do
There's a
with
lot
like people
that-
like
If
that.
you're not buying Disney Plus, you're buying something else. Like literally everything just like flows back into Disney. So whatever.
Yeah. The thing about Disney Plus is that every like ad I've seen from Facebook, people are like, "I'm gonna buy this to watch The Mandalorian, and then I'm gonna cancel it, and then I'm gonna re-get it when Marvel stuff puts their stuff out." And I think, yeah, they really need to fix that because otherwise they're gonna have lots of gaps in their.
I mean, they could just have I mean, like the solution, the ideal would be to like have a continuous stream of content people are willing to watch. But I mean, like,
Because
Yeah,
Netflix
I'm-
kind of has that, even though it's not always top tier stuff.
well, yeah, but they
30
try.
reasons why.
But I imagine But I imagine that's ultimately like that. You can't solve that. Like, what are you trying to solve? Then people just won't subscribe, and they'll just go. More people will just pirate. If you try to fix that somehow, and it's like fix in quotation marks, because that's the business, right? I subscribe and then I cancel when you don't have something I want anymore. That's business. That's capitalism. That's fair-ish within this system, right? Like that's about as fair as it can get. It's like, well, this month you don't have anything I want, so I'm not gonna do. You can like do some loyalty thing if like that's, but like, but that just if you exclude the people who you deem disloyal customers like too much, like you're just gonna push them away to somewhere else.
Suffer, bitch. You did not give me
So
the
it's
continued
there's no
stream.
solving it. And I don't think it should be solved because I think the system is, dumb. And
Yeah,
we should
well,
have
I found
revolution.
out that I found out that in the UK we don't get Simpsons on Disney Plus because Sky has like a eternal agreement with with them apparently.
Wonderful.
So I use a VPN.
That's why
Yeah.
just pirate.
But then we also get always Sunny on Netflix. So I guess that's the that makes up.
Ah.
Why would you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia if you live in the UK?
Because it's not always sunny in the UK. So
When is it sunny in the UK?
how fair you like one day a month, geez.
Television and movies
It's a
give me the
nice- it's a
impression
good
that
day,
the UK
I
is
guess.
permanently under a gray like clouds. Ever since
UK
the
under
Industrial
siege by
Revolution,
clouds.
like those smoke, all that smog just never left. It just became part of the ecosystem.
You joke, but that's actually a thing in London where the air quality is generally worse than everywhere else in Britain.
Simply because it's just residue from 200 years ago.
Polluted air, my favorite.
So wrapping things up, the Sonic movie.
Oh yeah, that
Movie-
two of us watched.
Yeah.
Two
How
of
could it be?
among us
Dude,
watched.
it's
not
only
me.
February. How can you say that?
It's but yeah, I don't know. I didn't actually like it that much as a movie, but then it reignited my interest in Sonic, so I kind of give it like a bonus thumbs up, I guess.
In general terms, tell what was good and bad about it.
It was
For
really
me,
generic.
Yeah, like the story was very kind of cut and paste, I guess.
And
Classic.
and
But
they,
it had the same. Sorry.
no, I was saying I feel like they try to like build up like Sonic's friendship with Tom, the cop. I think his name was, and it doesn't really work for me because it feels like they just met like 2 seconds ago, and then he just looks at Sonic and he's just like, you know what? He's kind of cute. You're my friend now. Like he doesn't like have like, and he just like throws caution to the wind. Like he has like a whole life ahead of him, and he's just like, this cute little thing wants my help. I guess I'm his friend now. Like they don't really like give him like too much of like a purpose into helping Sonic, and the friendship feels kind of forced.
I mean, I guess that's kind of just like a movie thing too. So
They need a human
I don't know.
character to be with the CGI
Yeah.
thing abomination.
Well, yeah, and I think it's the same thing as Detective Pikachu, where it's like the story and the characters were nothing like award-winning, but the references made Pokemon fans go, "Yeah, that's the game I like to play. This is entertaining," and I sort of had that, I guess.
I don't. People complain about the humor in the movie being kind of cringy, but I don't know why. But it's so funny, just like that scene where Sonic farts and then what's his name tells him
Oh,
to check his
no.
fur. Is it so funny to just like some dude telling Sonic to check if he shat himself?
To be honest, a lot of that could I'd say a lot of the jokes kind of fell flat for me. I guess since there'll probably be a sequel, I hope they kind of get some different writers on it. But like, yeah, when When there's just a straight up chili dogs followed by a fart joke, I was like, why am I here?
I think it was called a chili dog.
Yeah, I think probably the money that went back into it to fix Sonic didn't really go back to fixing the dialogue or anything.
Well, they did have
else.
reshoots
Yeah.
for the movie.
Yeah, but probably still like the same basic storyline they're going with.
Can we talk about the post-credit scene, or do any of you care about spoilers?
We just got over
I
this.
mean,
I don't
after
think
that
they
long
care.
talk, then yeah, whatever.
Because it's actually my favorite bit of the movie. But there's a ring portal that basically opens up, and Tails steps out of it.
And is
And
voiced by the
I
game
shit
voice
you
actor.
not. Yeah, it is literally. And I shit you not, the design of Tails looks better than Sonic's design, even the updated one. I thought, hell yeah.
I thought Tails looked kind of ugly. Like, just because he looks like he's just like over furred. Like, it looks really weird to me. Like, everybody praises the Tails design, but I really think it looks terrible.
I mean, do you remember the fan-made Tails thing after? Because you had the original Sonic, and then someone made a parody Tails
The puppet?
See
with like
this?
a really bad looking.
He looks
I think I would
fine.
prefer that puppet.
He looks absolutely fine.
I hate it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up, Probe Emperor Blitz. You don't know what you're talking about.
He's over for. I mean, like, that's just part of. That's because this entire thing was already a mistake. A live action. So it's yeah. There's no fixing it from
Yeah.
That's because it makes me wonder though, because if they redesigned Sonic, then surely there must have been a realistic Tails somewhere out there.
But there's no.
Release the original Tails.
Release the Tails cut.
Plus, the shape
Yeah,
of his head looks kind of weird.
But I still think that looks like pretty accurate. I think, you know. We're not going to get
That
into
looks fine.
conjoined eyes for Sonic, but
That actually looks like that looks in yeah. That's about as good as you're gonna get with trying to like make it look, it's like
Yeah.
purely CGI, but like you have to make it look like it's part of the environment. You have to like make it look like it's like physically somehow in this real world. That's like the weird balance. You want to like make it look cartoonish, but you also want to make it look like feel like part of that is like not just the look, but it's also like how it interacts with the environment. But like
Speaking of interacting, one thing you'll notice about this movie is that they really don't want to touch Sonic. Like, a lot of the actors don't touch Sonic. Despite like,
oh yeah,
minus
because
the
it's
scenes
hard
where they,
to
like, hold them.
yeah, because then it's easier to animate around the bad stuff.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
even like the ending where they should give Sonic like a hug because they like adopt him at the end, they don't hug him. They like put their arms like around him and hug each other, and Sonic just happens to be in the middle. It looks really
Yeah.
awkward.
Yep.
But as I say, like someone made that fan art for what Knuckles might look like, and despite the individual fingers, it'd be really cool if they did a trilogy of films that was just like adapting the original games, where like Tails was in the second one, Knuckles was like an anti-hero in the third, or whatever.
This is Raph. This is the guy from God of War. He make the funny Smash Brothers, but real. Ew. I'm like on Google Images looking at realistic Tails, and there's like one image of the the prop doll that you use for Sonic. It's like a picture of the prop doll, but it's like colored orange, and it looks really gross.
Can't wait for the Sonic sequel where Shadow shows up.
No, God, they're gonna. Oh,
He's just like, who are you? I'm you, but evil.
And then they make some kind of joke about like Sonic OCs
And
I
he
don't
pulls
need
out a
friends.
Kalashnikov and starts
It's like
whacking
stealing candy
people.
from a baby, which is fine by me.
I stole 40 cakes and that's
The
bad,
only
but that's good for me.
actually I remember I got the Shadow of the Hedgehog game for GameCube when I was a kid. And I honestly thought it was kind of dope. I just like shooting shit.
Yeah, I remember it. Remember my thoughts being, this is in the same universe as Sonic, Adventure.
And I was
There's a
like,
mission in the game where you kill the president
there's like
as
the
Shadow the
branching
Hedgehog.
story paths where you can go like good versus like evil. There was like 3 branching story paths. I thought it was pretty interesting.
It wasn't 3, just like
Pretty advanced.
6.
Someone argued too advanced.
Yeah,
I still like the
just
fact that there's an option to kill the president as Shadow.
it's great.
This game was released to the United States.
I mean, I maintain that the best Sonic game is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but
Well, I mean that's
You
freedom of
meant to
speech,
say
man.
Sonic Spinball?
That's why we live in this country.
Right to a wrong opinion, yeah.
You're allowed to
Nice
make a
hit.
game where you just blow up, like you just blast the president in like the face.
Yeah.
I wonder
Is
if
that really
somebody
what
got a
happens?
kick out of doing it, like in Japan. Like somebody just like really hates America.
I mean, what was the Metal Gear Solid? Wasn't like the guy who goes like nano machines, son? Like, isn't he like the president or something?
He was a senator,
Oh,
I
he's a
think.
Senator. Senator Armstrong, right? Okay.
Senator
Could have played
Palpatine.
college ball, you know.
Also, Sonic. I don't really like his voice in the
I don't know. I like Ben Schwartz, but I don't. It didn't feel too Sonic. It just felt like Ben Schwartz, I guess.
Exactly. And plus, everybody says that he has like a lot of like range when it comes to like emoting with his voice. He really doesn't. Like
It's
It's
just
just
getting more
Sonic.
high pitched and stuff, isn't it?
it's more what?
Or like it's he's got a very kind of comedic voice, but it's not like he's a good voice actor because of it. I think it's just
Yeah, like there's like times where he's like supposed to be like kind of sad and it just sounds like Sonic, but like it's the face that kind of sells that emotion. I guess makes you really think like what this movie would actually look like with the original design.
oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
You have like those previses where like they're watching that Sonic and like giving voice to that. It's like
Can you imagine like things like Tom Mars, not James Marsden or like
James Bond.
Jim Carrey watching like the original cut of the movie or something like that, and they just see like how fucking ugly Sonic is, and it's just like, are we really doing this? Really putting our careers to this?
By the way,
Yes.
how was Jim Carrey?
Jim
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey.
That's
Okay.
Jim Carrey was Jim Carrey.
That was explained.
Like I don't know. It was a lot of him just like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. I think.
Mm.
I thought
he
like
looked
some
really
of the
good by the
jokes were
end.
really funny.
But yeah, he actually looked like Eggman at the end because he sort of loses his hair for some reason. No, he shaves it off.
Yeah, he shaves it off like a rock, and he has like
Yeah.
Agent Stone as like an actual stone.
Yeah, and he ends up on in the Mushroom Hill Zone or whatever it's called, which is
The mushroom world. Sonic hates mushrooms.
yeah, which is I thought was again that's the thing. It's a neat reference. It's the kind of thing where Sonic fans are gonna go, yeah, cool, we know that.
Well, I guess we should also mention that Sonic's mom is a fucking owl,
Oh god, yeah.
and she gets
we
murdered
went
by
to see it
Knuckles.
We were laughing so fucking hard when like literally 3 minutes into the movie, we were so quick at the start. They just pulled the mentor dies card. It's like Sonic, you have to take the rings and go to Earth.
You must hide. You must never use your power. But Longclaw,
Yes. I
no
wonder if he uses his
buts.
power. But I guess kids eat that kind of stuff up because they don't. They've only just seen that story trope, so they don't know it's overused.
And I like how as soon as like the
Yeah.
movie starts up, it uses like the Sonic Mania music.
Oh my god, Sonic was in it as well.
Oh yeah, there was a drawing of Sonic.
Oh, nice.
It was used appropriately though. It was like the old town kook who sees like Sonic. He drew a picture of
yeah.
him, and he's like a picture of Sonic. You see, I'm not crazy. He had like a chainsaw.
Yeah,
at the
see,
end.
like when they get to when they get to the third one with Knuckles, they're gonna make a Ugandan Knuckles sketch. Like, do we?
He gets
At that
lost
point, the
and he
meme will
sees
have been
Sonic.
so
Hey,
dead that
dude,
everyone in the theater will just groan.
Yeah.
did you hear the jokes about they want The Rock to voice Knuckles?
I saw, yeah. That would
Some
be,
one of like the YouTubers I used to watch as like a kid, he predicted it because he posted a video of him saying it from like a couple years back.
it wouldn't surprise me. They just
Actually,
like
would that be bad? Isn't Knuckles like? Isn't his voice like usually like? I don't know much about the whole lore.
He's rougher than the best of them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Tougher
then,
than
like
leather.
Rock.
And then unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle. He'd rather flex his muscles. Hard as nails, it ain't hard to tell. He will break them down whether they're solid or frail.
I think like. I mean, in general, the problem a lot of animated movies have is like the whole obsession with celebrity voice actors. I don't like it. I think it's
I
not
think
that
it's
great.
so they can like sell the movie to like the parents, I guess, maybe. Or
Yeah, which
sell the movie,
is
I guess.
unfortunate.
That's mostly for
It's
like
just an unfortunate
DreamWorks and
reality because of capitalism. I'm just gonna blindly blame capitalism for everything here.
Because like you
yeah.
get
I
those
mean,
like shitty Illumination movies, and they're like, "Oh, that's the dad from The Office." I guess he was funny. We'll go.
what
I mean,
if we
it's
made a
which one did it
movie
start
about
with?
music?
Did it start with Aladdin, or was it one of the ones before?
I think it's.
That
I thought it
started with,
started
like,
with.
celebrity voice
I think
actors.
it. Actually, I'm not sure. Shrek.
Oh, it might have been Shrek, yeah,
Wait, no.
because that's what they tried to do.
I mean, Aladdin might have contributed because Robin Williams, but like, I'm not sure actually. How
Yeah, I think
celebrities-
Shrek's probably the one, because I don't think you'd imagine like Eddie Murphy is like, yes, the famous voice actor Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy from Coming to America is Donkey.
Eddie Murphy, who voiced Mulan, does acting.
Wait,
Oh,
you said
sorry,
Mulan.
never mind. I was thinking, what was the other one? Shrek.
Well, actually, no. Toy Story did the whole thing with Tom Hanks, right?
Oh yeah, it might have been that too. I don't know. I think it was probably just a
Starting with the
collaboration thing. It
90s.
was like a couple different movies
Actually,
started
it
like
was
having
Food Fight
prominent.
by adding the fucking grocery food characters into the movie.
If you don't sing, they make you do a movie with Tim Allen.
At gunpoint.
Can we get the Chaos Emeralds into the Sonic movie too? That way, when Sonic turns Super Sonic, he starts beatboxing. Have you seen Sonic flossing?
No, I don't want to. Really
Yeah,
don't
I've
want
already
to.
been.
Sonic
Wait,
flossing?
the Sonic what? Sonic Blossom?
Yeah, like flossing.
Flossing.
Oh god, yeah, that was. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of. Actually, no, it wasn't unavoidable. No one had to put that in there, but yeah, makes sense, I guess. Shazam did it, although I guess he was a 14-year-old kid in the superhero's body, so it made sense, I guess.
I mean, Sonic
Yeah.
is a kid too, so I don't get why people hate it so much.
Isn't he, or isn't he like? Well, no, actually, it was. I don't know. He's kind of like ambiguously 20 because he was supposed to be like a kid, but then 10 years had passed.
Hmm.
Is this like millennial Sonic?
I think they said that he's like a
He
kid.
reads the old Flash comics and says they're better than the new ones.
Wait, he does?
God,
I don't know.
that's
See, wasn't that the scene
terrible.
where he just spins around? He says, "I have no idea."
Yeah.
Or did they change that?
A lot of the stuff from the trailers they changed in the final movie.
Oh,
That
okay.
happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
All right.
I don't know how recent of a thing that is.
it doesn't surprise me of a movie that was so heavily edited based on public reaction. I guess.
Hey, they didn't like the old Sonic, so I think what will really improve things is if we have them flossing. That'll make it up to them.
Well, now we've tricked them. They bought the ticket price, but now that they're in the movie, they don't do anything.
He does it like twice too. This is like the only time he does it. So suffer twice. I think like that dance he does when he says like I have no idea is they reused it like in the scene where he gets like those new shoes, like the red one. What is this image?
So yeah, Sonic. Solid 5 out of 10.
All right,
Well,
right
the
here.
credits
It's
on this.
the BTB review, 5 out of 10 review for Sonic.
BTB Sonic.
Not enough flossing. Not enough flossing.
Yeah, keep that in mind for the sequel.
Jesus Christ.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Just make the
think that's gonna
background
do it for this
footage
podcast.
this image of Sonic flossing.
Okay.
hope you enjoyed, and catch you in the next one.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.